hello to Lady Belladonna 1957 with the most beautiful background.
Hello, Miss Cat. How are you this evening?
I'm good, but your background is absolutely stunning. Look at it.
How much have you
done that over the years? How long has it taken you to do that room? And how much?
Not very long. It is actually behind me. I've got all their windows, and I put tapestries up there, and then I added just lights, and I've got a wall divider here that's got some of my deceased family. It's all about the whole, old pictures.
Mm-hmm. I love your background. It's amazing.
And then this, what I call my altar, is actually a wine rack that one of my daughters had that left here, and I needed something, and it was here, and I decorated it. Everything that's on it is something that someone has given to me, or has meant something to me, or that I picked up that I thought would be interesting there.
Yeah, I'm watching a live on Facebook, and we have the auto captions going, and it's saying slightly different to what you're actually saying. It's quite funny.
Oh, okay. So it's way off, huh?
I've tried to turn them off, and they just will not turn off. I think Facebook have made it that you can't turn them off anymore.
Yeah. Hi, Teresa.
Oh, we have Teresa. Hello.
Hi, Teresa.
There's a comment. Bit delayed. Hello, how are you, Teresa? Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Teresa, for coming.
A beautiful Lady Belladonna.
And the psychic Miss Cat, which I love dearly, and I am so excited every time we get on live and can talk to one another and cheer to one another. And I love your hair.
Thank you. Cut it off.
It's actually beautiful, and it's just.
Thank you. Nice.
Teresa, how are you tonight?
Yeah, how are you going, Teresa? And hello to who else is watching. Thank you for watching.
If you're watching, say hello. I'm Lady Belladonna, and this is the psychic Miss Cat. We're glad you joined us.
Yeah, we have Lil Rose. Hello.
Hi, Little Rose. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. I'm Lady Belladonna, and this is Kat.
Teresa's saying, doing good, ate too much dinner.
I know, right?
You need a cup of Chinese herbal tea.
Oh, you know what? That reminds me. I ordered me some, I told them on my last show that I was learning the teacup, and it talked about, let me see where my paper is. I made notes. Oh, and the different kinds of tea that they're telling you that you need that works good. And I actually ordered the tea to go with my cups, so that I could begin to start reading. That it's one of them is the Indian tea. One of them is some kind of gray tea, and then there's the Chinese tea that actually the grains and the tea leaves that are in it, the tea actually sticks to the cup for easy read. Isn't that something? Isn't that is just fascinating to me.
I like reading teacups.
Hey, do you read with the teacups?
Yeah, I love reading tea. Yeah.
Do you have one of these nice little cups?
I've got other cups, not like that, but I do have other cups. They're not here at the moment. Not in this room.
To show me, you'll have to. I would love to. That was the only one I could find. I mean,
okay.
You was the only one. So if you could link me up with another one that maybe is a little different, that would be awesome. Awesome.
Do you know, when I moved, I just moved house, and I've misplaced a lot of my stuff. And I
hope you haven't left it behind by mistake. I hope it's there.
I don't know, but I have these two beautiful Avon goblets from the 70s, red.
Oh, really?
Absolutely amazing, and I don't know where I've lost them, misplaced them, and they're the two things I wanted, and I don't know where they are. I think someone took them, and I'm so disappointed. Remember Avon? We can't get it in
Yes.
Australia.
Let me tell you something. My mother was an Avon dealer, dealt with Avon for years. I have got several different things from Avon.
I love Avon.
I do.
Have you still got it in America? Because in Australia you can't get it anymore.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do still have Avon here.
Oh, you're so lucky. I love Avon. Looking at their catalogs, and I've been in Avon a few times through my life, and I loved it.
Do you remember the Cape Cod set? You know, the red Cape Cod? It's the Cape Cod is the dishes. It's like China, but it's red Cape Cod, remember?
Yes.
I've got that set. And Mother was such a really, really high in the Avon, selling Avon, that she would get Avon dolls, the Abby dolls. You remember the Abby dolls? Yeah, and I have got something like 9 Abby dolls that my mother gave me.
Oh, wow, you're lucky.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah. Remember the bubble bath dolls Avon had?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love them. I've got one of them.
So, anyways, it was Mother always sold, and my sister did for a while. You know, you have to sell over $10,000 worth of Avon just to get one doll. And she had 4 daughters, and she got enough for 4 daughters every year.
Oh, every wow.
Year.
Okay. Yeah.
Every year.
Wow.
But that was when they had people that you could sign in underneath you. Hello, Joyful. How are you?
Yes, hello, Joyful. I'm here tonight. I'm usually in the green room. Thank you for watching, and everyone else, thank you for watching. This is Lady Bella Donna 1957, and Joyful Healer. My mum used to sell Avon.
Yeah. So we were talking about the Avon, but we were also talking about some of the fears that people are experiencing and having nowadays about, you know, there's so much going on about the death and everything, and there is so many people that are afraid of dying. When you face death in the eye, which if you've ever had any kind of a family member or yourself, I myself has battled cancer. It'll be 5 years in February that it'll be 5 years. And whenever you're going through the treatments, you have, even afterwards, you have the what ifs. So, you know, a lot of people are afraid of the experience and what it's like. And if we believe that where we're going is a better place, and where we're going, you know, there is a transition between here and the afterlife. There is a transition before that you have a knowing. There's a transition during, and then there's a transition after. So it's not just one thing. It's several things, and I choose to believe that we're never alone, and that our loved ones will be there waiting. Where we're going, there is no racism, there's no color, there's no sex, there's no male or female. It's the one. It's one with the universe, one with the good Lord, and we're all, if you choose to believe that, which I choose to believe that. So it's all on how you perceive what's coming next, and you could be afraid. I could remember as a little girl being afraid, wondering, where did I come from? Where did all this begin? And you can get wrapped up into it because of the not knowing and where we're going, and is this really the true, or is that really true, and I mean, it's all according to what you believe and how you interpret what you know. So what's your take on it? What are some of your beliefs on here in the afterlife and what's to come? Yeah, and there is no turmoil in what a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful place that would believe, would be if that's what you believe in. So what are some of y'all's take on it? Teresa, I know you're still here and joyful. And they maybe one more, but I don't see it. You don't. They were Abbey dolls. They were called Abbey dolls, and they're porcelain. They're gorgeous, gorgeous dolls. I remember the very first one my mother gave me was one of the yellow ones. They're like Annabella dolls, but they're porcelain. And I seen it, and my heart, I was so excited, and my heart just cried. It was so beautiful. And I believe I've got about 8 of them. And Mother was a big, big Avon dealer. Got many, many awards for selling Avon. But like I said, back then, she also had teams. She was like a team leader, a team member. They don't have that like they used to back then. They don't have the team leaders like they did back when Mama sold it. But she got out of it, and then later on, she got back in it. I could remember her getting so upset with us because we had used the cologne. I still got cologne. My mother's been gone since 2000. She died in 2000. And I still got some of the last cologne that I got from her. And one of my very, very all-time favorites is Timeless. And I still got a couple of bottles that I bought from Mother the last time. Thank you, Ivory. Thank you for doing the shares. Thank you so much. Thank you, Joyful. Thank you. It is wonderful, wonderful to be here. Hi again. Hi, Sandy. How are you tonight? Welcome, welcome. There's so many. And, well, I want to apologize. If y'all was here the other night, Facebook was so rude. All of a sudden, I'm telling the story, and I got to the end. I don't even know if it recorded the last of the story. Some of y'all that was here, maybe you could help me. Tell me if y'all heard the last of the story, because I don't remember whether or not I mean, it cut off just like that. It was just so rude. I thought, how rude is this? Because it cut off. It cut off. It just threw me right on out. So, what is your takes? What are your beliefs? Do you believe that there is an ever after, and that we move to different planes in our lives? I believe we do. When my mother died, I know everybody has learned about the shadow of death. And I mean, it ain't something that just is words. When my mother went to take her last breath, I saw that shadow. I saw it move from the bottom of her feet to the top of her head. And I thought, shadow of death. And it truly, truly was. And it was, I mean, the last thing that we could do was try to keep her here. If Mother would have lived, she had bone cancer. Her cancer had come back. And if she had lived, she would have lived had a horrible death. But as it was, Mother went peacefully. And she always said, you guys, she always said that when she went to die, that she was going to have a roll call, and us kids would better be there. And they were 7 of us. There's 7 of us. There's still 7 of us. And before Mother took her last breath, she called every one of us. Now, you have to understand, too, what a miracle it was that she even did that, because her sugar was like 32. She was like coma stage. I mean, and she come to, and buddy, you better have been there, because she said she was going to call roll call, and she did. Reincarnation, yes, I believe in that to a degree. I do. I believe that we move on if we're through with this life. But if we, sometimes I feel like, and now I don't have anything to base this on, but I've always been interested in the Annabella years, where they wore the big pretty dresses, where they, the Indians, I've got part Indian. My grandmother was part Indian. So, yes, it is. And it, if we're meant to come back, that if we didn't, I'm a firm believer, if we didn't learn what we're supposed to learn, we're going to come back and redo it. We're going to do it. Thank you. It is actually one of them moo-moos. I thought it would be pretty neat. It's comfortable. It's really comfortable, but it is. It's like a moo-moo. Y'all know what a moo-moo is? It actually is like a dress. See? I love it. I love it. I love it. I've got I've got a green costume. I got 2 of them. One's got a hood and one don't. But I don't wear them very often. I wear them more closer to like Halloween and Mardi Gras and stuff like that. So I try to wear something, try to look decent. And I want you guys to feel at home. I want y'all to feel like my warmth, my welcome. If you was here, I would give you a glass of tea. We would sit and we would chit-chat. That's who I am. There's not very many people that's ever come to my house that didn't feel comfortable, because I love people. I love sharing some of my trials, my tribulations. I couldn't be who I am today had I not been through what all that I have gone through. I thank God every day that I'm here, and that He has blessed me. And I was told, and it just warms my soul and my heart, but I was told that I have my son and my daughter around me. And that is such a blessing. That is so, so wonderful. And sometimes when I get the goosey bumps, see, I know that I'm really touching someone's heart. I'm really feeling what, picking up their energy. And to know that they're here around me is awesome. Awesome. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You do. And my card readings, most all of your cards you get a guidebook. And when I first started developing my senses, I did have to go to the guidebook so that I would get an understanding. I don't use the guidebook as much as I used to. I actually pray and try to connect. What comes up, what the Spirit brings to me is what I speak and what I tell you. If it's bad, I'm going to tell you it's bad. I'll find a way that I could express it to you. I'm going to leave it with a positive, because for everything that we go through, there is a positive ending if you choose to accept it and believe the positive ending. You could become a very, very bitter and angry person, and that's one thing that I never really wanted to do, was become a bitter person. So you have to, slowly but surely, you have to pull yourself up. There's not a time that you don't get knocked down, that you don't bring yourself back up. I could remember when my daughter died, my sister took my hand because my son told me, said, "Mama, you've got to leave." And I said, "But they haven't came and got her." And he said, "But Mama, they're not going to come and get her as long as you're here." And my baby sister said, "Donna, come on, we've got to go." And she took my hand, and I remember walking, because I knew I wouldn't have wanted to have left her. And we were walking down the hall, and I could remember, Lord, I was praying the whole time, "Lord, walk with me." I wanted him to walk with me. I didn't want him to walk in front of me to pull me. I didn't want him in the back of me to push me. I wanted him to walk beside me, because I knew that I would overcome. You don't think you will, and you think at the moment that you can't breathe and that you can't, but you do, and you become a better person. I believe in my heart that I've learned what I needed to learn and take from it, and I feel blessed. I feel so blessed. It's just like, even when my son died, it was 3 weeks later that my son came to me in the dream. Dreaming is something that your loved ones, if you've ever dreamed about your loved ones, they're visiting you. If you've ever heard a song in your sleep that reminded you or carried you back to a memory or something, or if you continue to have a reoccurring dream, your loved one is wanting to get a message to you that's saying, "Hey, listen, look, put that paper beside your bed, write them dreams down. Go back to them later, because whenever it comes back to mind, it may be 10 years, but it'll come back just like the story of the turtle that I told the other night on Live Monday night. It'll come back to you. It'll come back to you. And see, just in that show, it come back to me to share with you guys about the turtle. Knowing that no matter what, there's always good can come out of it. An alcoholic is an alcoholic as long as you see him as an alcoholic. He's going to always be an alcoholic. But he could be sober. But as long as you see him as an alcoholic, that's all he'll ever be in your eyes. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? They do come to us in our dreams. And it is that you'll come across, if you believe, which I truly believe that they do, but if you believe, you'll come awake having a visit from your loved one. You may not actually see them, but you will feel them and know that it's them. 3 weeks before my daughter was diagnosed with cancer, my mother stepped up in the door. I saw her just as clear as you're seeing me right now. And I looked at her and I said, "Mama, I'm all right. Mama, I'm all right." course, lo and behold, I did not know that we would have a battle for 4 years with my daughter, but we did, and she was at peace, she was at rest, and I know that I will, beyond a shadow of a doubt, where she's at, I will be one day. If you believe, that's you know, everybody believes what they believe. You know, you hear about people that talks about being an atheist. I guarantee you, if they are, I haven't met one, and I really don't know, but you have someone you're going to call upon when things get tough. You'll call upon them. If it's not the Lord, it's somebody. You'll call upon somebody because you're going to reach out. What do y'all think about all this? Am I just rattling on? I would be glad to do a reading for you if you could go out and go and purchase a reading. They have them right now, a special for $19.97. Usually it's a $30 reading, but they have them on sale now that you could go. I would love to do a reading for you. I'm sitting here shuffling. I am shuffling the deck of cards. They're one of my favorite decks. I used them the other night. I absolutely love it. One of the cards that is on the bottom is the death card, which ironic because of me talking about death and the afterlife and all. But when I draw the death card for someone, just for instance, this card, it's not about someone dying. It could be, but usually it's about something coming to an end. The end of life is someone dying. The end of a job, an end of the end of a troubled time that you're in. You're finally on the other side of it. Death means so many things. It's the ending of something. It's not as a physical death. It could be, there is two kinds of death, a spiritual death and also a natural death. There's a lot of people walking around that's got a spiritual death because they don't know, they haven't seeked and they haven't learned what the lessons that they know. They're kind of lost. You have several different kinds of deaths. So when I see the death card, hi Meek, Marshall. So when I pull the death card, I see the good in it. I see that there is an ending of something, and where there is an ending, there is a new beginning. You know, when we experience the seasons, the fall time, the trees drop, they go into a dormant stage. They go into a deep freeze, a deep sleep, and they're there safe and sound until spring, until they begin to come awake. That is one of the most beautiful things to learn, is that even though we may be sleeping, we will wake up. Even though the times were bad, there is a new beginning. Life is a new beginning, whether or not it's the ending of a job that you hated and you got your best job, or if it's an ending of a relationship, any kind of ending, to me is what the death card represents. It's an ending, a change. So I don't know, that may reach somebody, that may, it is the end of a phase and an end of a cycle. It is. It's not just death. Oh, you know, back when, when you drew the death card, you's going to die or somebody close to you is going to die. Well, that ain't the way it is. That's not the way it is. To me, it's not. I mean, it may be, but I'm going to tell you something. Have you ever had a dream of someone in a casket? I have. Did you see the face? Did you see the face in the casket? Did you know that if you saw the face, the first thing you would want to do was, I've got to go warn that person. It becomes your will, not God's will. God's not going to show you who it is. He may prepare you. He may prepare you. But that doesn't mean that you're going to die. That person's going to die. You're not going to do, God's will. If you intervene or try to intervene, guardian angels aren't going to intervene if it's your time to die. But if it's not, they're going to intervene and they're going to stop it from happening. Yes, Sandy, that's exactly right. No, it's not. It's not going to show you who it is, because you'd run out there and the first thing you'd want to do is run, protect them, and hide them. Make them not go. If it's a car crash or whatever, you don't know. You're going to go do it, and it's going to be your will, not God's will. It's not going to be God's will if you go out there and you warn him. So he's not going to give you those kind of answers. No, it's not, Meek. It's not the person. It's not going to show you. God only knows. I wasn't prepared when my son got killed. He was tragically killed on a motorcycle. I wasn't prepared, and I certainly didn't get warned, and I certainly didn't expect it. But it happened. And I could sit here and I could say, well, if he'd have been in his truck, he wouldn't have got killed. He was on a motorcycle. If he'd have took the first exit instead of the second exit, he wouldn't have got killed. But see, that would have been my way. I would have wanted him to take the first exit. I would have wanted him to be in the truck, not his motorcycle. So, I mean, I had no choice. My nephew drowned in the bathtub. If he'd have fell backwards after the seizure, he would have had a concussion, but he still would have been alive. So, I mean, it all depends on how you believe and how you want to look at things. And those are just a little bit about into my life story. And I want to thank you for those that are in here. If you haven't said hello, hi, Rochelle. I would love to, if you, there is a web page right there you could click. I would love to do a live reading with you. You have the opportunity to get a live reading with me. You could join me. We could do a video chat. We could do a chat, just a plain chat. They do have them there. It's going across the bottom. It's 1997. Is someone in the group experiencing some kind of celebration? Have they gotten some new good news or news? Has anyone in the group gotten some news that's here? Yeah, Mika, they could be. You know what, Sandy, my mother, when I was little, she had a Ouija board. I remember playing with it. I don't never know what happened to it, but I know I will never have one. I just, I got one years later, and me and this girl was playing with it, and it told us about a birder, and it told us about this and that, and I swore then that I would never have another one. Mama did coffee grounds. I would see her, notice her, she would read coffee grounds. I remember her going through the house with my aunt, and now that I look back, I believe she was saging the house, because my grandmother was she had Alzheimer's, but she was also a midwife, and she would go to various people's homes and help them deliver their babies. And she helped deliver, I don't know how many babies. I don't know how many babies she did. And when she got Alzheimer's, she would walk at night, and she would tell you, because I would spend the night with her and I would sleep with her, she'd tell you that she was going she had to go. The babies. But she would see the babies. She would see spirits. She would see spirits in the house. And so I didn't make the connection until I began experiencing and reading and developing my senses. But I remember her with, it was like one of them tea things that holds tea, that you put in your cup and pour the hot water over, and it closes with the tea in it. But they had something in it, and it was smoking, and they went through the whole house. They did. They went through the whole house of saging it. Now I'm almost sure it was sage, and I don't remember. She never said anything. She never. I remember a lady taking and using a needle like a pendulum. They would use a needle like a pendulum. But as far as I believe Mama had some senses, but there wasn't the internet back then, and it was just, you didn't do, people back then didn't. Someone has got a celebration, some kind of celebration that's going on in their lives. Some kind of celebration. Like they're good news. They're really happy. Figure that it's an unexpected landfall of money, unexpected money. I'm picking up that it's not just money. Maybe so, but I would rather feel and connect and feel my cards. Sandy, are you got some good news coming? Have you, Sandy, meet Teresa? Who else is in here? Ivory? Have you got, have you recently had a money come? Okay. All right. Well, that's good news. I don't know who this card is leaning towards, but my first impression was Sandy. But it is celebration. It's a celebration of some kind, and I feel like that it will be. I feel like that it may be money, maybe more money coming, more offers. Get a better job, a better opportunity, a way to get to better yourself. So I'm just sitting here piddling with the cards. So, but that one I drew, and I felt like that it was for the room, and that it was for somebody in the room, that it's some kind of good news, some kind of good something is coming. So if that hits home with you and things are working with you, and it's then the card was for you. If the death card was an ending of something, that when I pulled it, it was the last one on the deck. If that resonated with you, then it was meant for you to hear. Anything that I'm telling you, if you get a light that goes off or that aha moment, then it's meant for you. That the spirit guides are wanting you to hear it. And I'm a tool. I'm just a tool. I tell you what comes up. I tell you what I hear. I tell you what I see. I believe what I feel. I know what I feel. And I stand by it. If it's not something that's happening right now, it may happen. Here a couple of weeks ago, I had in a couple of groups that I do readings in, I had a couple of, now grant you, I've done hundreds and hundreds of readings. And ever so often, you'll not get one right. And this couple of people let me know. And you know, the thing is that it may not have happened right then, right now, but it may come back to them. It may come back to them. You're welcome, Sandy. It may very well be something that'll come to them. I had another one that sent a message that I had told them that they were getting some unexpected news that someone they knew or something was going to have a baby, that the news was going to come down that they, it could be a grandbaby or it could be a baby. Well, she sent a message and said that there was a baby on the way. So what I call my two negatives, they will be a positive, because whatever it was, it may not be meant for them right then, but it could be later on down the road. So I don't know. Some of these, like I said, I haven't even read the book in these cards. I also have some talking to a couple of my other favorite decks is Talking to Heaven and the Spirit Messages. I sometimes mix them. I put them together and read with them together because they are the spiritual. They are the spirits, and they're awesome putting them together. Sandy, I don't know if you've got them two decks or if you have ever seen them two decks, but they're together. They are awesome. I thought about ordering me another set because I have used them. A lot of my lives that I do, I use them. But the next one is the one about the Tarot of Dreams. I have so many cards that some of them, you know, you could collect them, but if they don't get you here and you don't connect with them, you're not going back to them. And I pull out and cards that I haven't pulled out in a while. And I go back and see if I could get a connection. And there's not a deck that I have not prayed over and saged. Because you never know who touched them before, who put them in the box that may have something negative going on. So you never know, so you cleanse them. And I kind of come up with a little ditty that I do that when I say my prayer over them, you know, and I bless them, sage them, yes, please do, Sandy. I would love to hear from you. Could be. It could be. Well, that's what I got out of that card, and it was meant for someone in the room because I didn't have anyone in Pacific in mind when I drew the card, other than I wanted to draw one like a group card. And just see what the message had come across. So I had been kind of sick last week. I haven't really did a whole lot of readings in the groups that I'm in, but I just hadn't felt like it, and I've got to really get on the move with it. But it's been very interesting. It's fun. I love it. I love it when I get a message that I could share with you and tell you. And I love to get messages from I don't see loved ones, but I feel loved ones. I hear loved ones, or I feel the messages. I haven't developed that, what they call a mediumship, where you actually see a person, or I don't even know how that works. But I do know the feeling that I get, the message that I receive. I don't see names. I don't see, sometimes I could tell whether or not I could feel that whether or not it's a male or a female. It could be a grandmother or a mother figure. I could see, I could feel that. But as far as actually seeing, hi Jiva. So I don't know if I said your name right. It may be, the J may be silent, and it may be Iva. Maybe Iva. So welcome. So let me see. I think I will. I'm kind of led to this deck, and I don't know who it may be for. I'm not going to call names. I'm not going to put a particular name to a person, but I'm kind of led to Talking to Heaven deck, and I don't know why I'm led to this deck, but I will pull a card, and if it resonates with you, you could pop on here and you could tell me that hey, it was from somebody that I know. Hi Debbie. So I'm really feeling that okay, the message that someone wants someone in this room, and I don't know who it's for. And it's ironic to me that I've been talking about the different things about what we experience when we die, where we go. This particular card is I am learning over here. See, our lessons don't just stop. I mean, we don't just stop existing. Our bodies are gone. This body that we know is gone. But our spirit and our knowing never leaves. It never leaves. It's the breath we breathe. So they're constantly learning. So whoever is in the room, and we've got 7 people here. Oh, really? Okay. Yes, it is James Van Peeler. It is. But it's learning. This card is whether we die and we continue to learn. We just don't stop existing. We just don't stop. We continue learning. We continue. So someone in the room, that may be something that touches you, because it is just wanting you to know that you never quit learning. You're always learning. There's always something. You're never learn. You never quit learning. So I hope that helps somebody. I'll have to write that down. I wasn't aware of that. Maybe you could help me develop that senses a little better, because I'm really new at that part of it. I know what I pick up. I know what I feel. I know what I see. And I tell people all the time that they have two sets of eyes and two sets of ears. You have your natural set of eyes that you see me with, like you're seeing me now, but you also have that inner set of eyes that you see things beyond what you see in the natural world. You see things and you feel things from beyond. You have ears that you hear me talking now, but you also have them inner ears, which the inner ears is what I use when I read the cards, when I feel the spirits. It's the inner ears. So you have two sets of eyes. And I was always taught that I had a third eye right here. And I never really understood it until I got to studying about the third eye. I always knew we had one. I always knew. I was always taught we had a third eye. That's the third eye of knowing. Knowing what you see, knowing what is real and what is not real. Being able to distinguish the difference between what is real and what's not real. So I hope that card helped somebody. It is. This is a really, 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 I don't know if you could see it. It's talking to heaven. And if you check Hay House, a lot of the times on Hay House, you could get their decks for $10. So my whole life. Oh, okay. I've always had a sense of knowing. It's almost like, I've always been able to talk to people. I try to talk to them. And I have, I teach in stories. And one of the stories that I know y'all heard, the one about the snake being froze going up the mountain, and the man saying, "No, you'll bite me." And the snake promises, "Oh no, I won't, put me in your pocket and warm me up." And whenever he gets to the top of the mountain and the snake is all thawed out, the snake bites him. And he said, "But you promised." He said, "But you knew what I was when you picked me up." That goes back to a story that I was told a long time ago. And it was, and it took me years to understand what it meant. And it's, sorrow comes for a fleeting moment. No, joy comes for a fleeting moment. Sorrow comes with a knitting bag to stay a while. Okay? So took me a long time to understand what that means. And when you're in the process of grieving over someone, loss of a lost loved one, it feels like the sorrow is there for a while. So joy comes for a fleeting moment, but sorrow comes with a knitting back to stay. It wants to stay. That doesn't mean it has to stay. It just means that it wants to. There were so many different, what I call parables in my life that was lessons that I was taught and was taught. One time, let me tell you, it was years ago. My sister and I, we had our children. This was back in the 70s. It's when Coca-Cola's was a dime. We were stopping by the store, and I had just enough. I had 15 cents. I had a dime and a nickel. And I said, Lord, if I had just one more nickel, I could get 2 drinks. We could have one for the front seat for me and my sister, and one for the back seat for my nephew and my daughter. And I thought, okay, well, I got out. Now, this is a true story. This ain't something I made up. This is a true story. I got out and I went to the Coca-Cola machine and I put my dime in, and the machine broke. Give me my Coke, but it gave me nickels. The nickels was pouring out of this machine. I thought, Lord, thank you, Lord, thank you. I took the 1 nickel that I asked for, the 1 nickel, and I got the extra Coke that I had asked for, and I took the other back into the owner of the store. Because I asked for it, God made it possible. Well, God gave it to me, and I got the other nickel, and I got the other drink. But I did not keep the rest of the nickels. Now, isn't that something? How things are brought to you and how things work, and if you're perceptive to it, if you accept it, if you believe it, if you know it, it comes to you. It comes to you, and it will guide you if you will allow it. It will show you, and it will walk with you. It's not going to leave you. That knowing, that being is not going to leave you. It's going to be there. Yes. Hi, Christina. Welcome, welcome. Christina, I was just doing like a group card. If you want a reading with me, I would be glad to. You could click the link and go to our PayPal site. They're having a special right now for $19.97. I would be glad to do a reading for you. I've been shuffling the cards and we've been talking, and I have pulled a couple of cards for the group, for whoever's in here, and kind of just going with what I feel. Yeah, Sandy. Sandy, Sandy, where do you live? Where are you at? I'm in Alabama. Oh, I would love to meet up with someone in Alabama that is gifted, that we could share our talents and learn from each other. I would love that. Wouldn't it be nice if some of us that would come together, that we could meet in a mutual place and have like a, I don't want to call it a conference because I wouldn't want to be that formal, but just to meet and share our stories, our lives, a part of our histories and part of ourselves, and learn from one another. What you think? And in case this cuts us off, we've got less than a minute, and this show is for an hour. I will be on again unless something happens. Friday at 10. My time is going to be, I usually pick 10 o'clock. It seems to be a good time. So I will be back on Friday. If anybody would like to join me, I would love for you to hear, and we'll see what the Spirit brings in for me to share with you. I've shared quite a few things. We've talked about quite a few things. I've loved it I have loved it very much so. And if Kat, if you want to come on and
yeah, sorry. Thank you for your show.
yes,
It was so good. Loved it. Yeah. Everyone, thank you for watching. We will be back again. Are we back tomorrow morning with let me see who have I got on. Natalie the Pet Psychic.
right.
We have on tomorrow morning. In a
You could go to the site. You can, if you go to live psychic live.live, you will see that there is a lot of people, very talented people that would be glad. Miss Kat's there. I'm there. The one she just mentioned is there. And go check us out. Like the page, get a free spin. That spin gives you different. I think it gives you a percentage or a free reading or 15 minutes of a reading, whatever the wheel spins, right?
You just have to subscribe and you win a prize.
Right.
So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Donna.
Thank you, Miss Kat. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody that came. I enjoyed it, and please come again. I'm scheduled, I believe, unless something happens, Friday at 10. So I'll see y'all. Love you, and I'll see you all then.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.